what the fuck do we do now that we know that nearly half of Israel support the genocide in Gaza? Nearly half.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I pray that all of you and your families are well, except for the Zionists. May Allah destroy you. My sister, the only solution that I see from my view is that we must be result driven. Every action that we do must be strategic and intentional. We're not, and forgive me, do not be offended anyone, but I don't see us producing effective results. Now, what I mean by this is, in New York City, from my observation, because I live in New York City, I see that our protestings, it gains a lot of attention. Excuse me if I spat. It gains a lot of attention, however, it's not producing effective results. Every single day that a child is annihilated, that's a result. Every single day that a building falls down, that's a result. Every single day that a lineage is wiped off the face of the earth, that is an effective result. We're not producing any effective results. Now, don't destroy my words, because Zionists, they love to gaslight. They're psychologically manipulative. I'm not saying let's commit violence, God forbid. I wouldn't say this, right? However, we must produce effective results. Our protestings must be producing effective results. Now, viewers, perhaps you're getting frustrated because I'm repeating myself and I haven't given you examples of actions that will produce effective results. So let me give you some. These actions must be tackled from the social, political, and economic aspects of our society. Now, if we can do it, if we can organize ourselves and do it in unison globally, my God, it's going to be a grand revolution. Socially, the same way that they create magical terms like anti-Semitism and cause us to lose our jobs and cause us to lose our relationships and cause us to lose our friends, we have to create the same thing. They're the minority. They're the minority of the minority of the minority, and we're the majority, and yet we can't combat that. We can't produce an effective result. We can't do things, do actions, produce actions that will produce an effective results, even more effective than the word anti-Semitism. We can't create our own terms and label them. We can't cancel them. There's more of us. Every single Zionist that have a platform, we will be canceling those platforms. Every single Zionist in person, we will not be talking to them. We will not be engaging with them. We will cancel them on earth. Wherever they go, they'll be canceled. We can do this. From an economic perspective, we will not be supporting any businesses that support Zionism. And this doesn't mean not buying from them, but this means us collectively joining together to create businesses to compete with them, and then going out of our way to educate the masses so that they can be certain, because the regular everyday person is worrying about their bills. That's understandable, but we then need to go out of our way, door to door, marketing our businesses. And not just that, just like MLK Jr., Martin Luther King Jr., we need to go into their establishment. Some of us may have to go to prison. Are you willing to be the sacrificial lamb? Are you willing to be that? If you're able to, you don't have a family to take care of, then sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice yourself. But we need to go into their establishments and make sure that we are blocking them from making money. MLK Jr., the restaurants used to say, no blacks allowed. It's clear cut, no blacks allowed. They will go inside and sit in. Are we doing that today? I don't see that. So we need to be doing that. We need to compete with them, and we need to stop them from making money. Now, we can take our money out the banks. You know, that's going to be really revolutionary. So, those of you who know economics, you know, you guys can inform us. I don't know much about that, so you guys can inform me as well. That's a good idea or not, but it's an idea. Now, when it comes to politics, I saved it for last because I don't have much knowledge on politics. I don't have much knowledge on it. So, if I make a mistake, educate me. Alhamdulillah. And if it makes sense, I'll process it in my mind. And if it doesn't make sense, then I'll question you. Now, What we can do is we can hold our political officials accountable with our votes, but perhaps due to my limited understanding of politics and voting, and also perhaps also consuming these conspiracies that I see online, even if it wasn't intentional or intentionally, I have another how do you call it, another solution. Sorry about that. And that solution is that we need to be a democracy. We need to be an actual democracy. If our political officials are not listening to us, if our political officials are not listening to us, and they are a small group of people that are backed up by, public money, taxes, taxpayers' money, and also the military, then we need to be organized. We need to prepare for a grand revolution. We need to be a democracy, a global democracy, the first global democracy in existence. The first global democracy in existence. Every single law that is passed that we disagree with, that will harm Palestine, that will harm the Palestinians, and that will harm us, we will do the exact opposite. Anything that will benefit the government, if it does not harm the everyday people who are going about their business like I am right now, going to work, and my brothers and sisters, my neighbors, whether they Muslim or not, going to work, we need to make sure that we don't harm them. We need to make sure that we don't harm them. But anything that benefits the government and harms our brothers and sisters in Palestine, we need to be an obstacle. And again, some of us may have to sacrifice your jobs, your relationships, perhaps even your life. This is my understanding of what we should do based on history. Every revolution, every single revolution is in need of sacrifice. That's if we're serious. Or we can just continue talking on TikTok and continue watching what we're seeing. And now finally, this is the most important. We must understand that success is from God alone. God, the one who created all that exists, who causes the sun to rise and set, who allows the moon to go through its phases, or created phases for the moon and created stages for the human being. Embryo, and then a child, and then an adolescent, and then an adult, and then back to a weak state, old age, and then death. We need to worship him and pray to him and ask him for his assistance and his help. And he's there. The proof that he's there is that, look at the Palestinians. They still have a smile on their faces. They still have smiles on their faces. In conclusion, I believe this is what we need to do. We need to have a global revolution. The first global revolution ever. But it cannot happen if we're not organized. It cannot happen if we're not organized. So in every city there must be a leader. And all the leaders must be in communication. Every single city all over the world, there must be leaders. And they all must be in communication. And we must listen to them. And this will be the first ever global democracy. The first ever global democracy. Or I'm just fantasizing. And nothing will get done. It's one of the two. Either we'll do it and we'll produce an effective result, or we'll find something better to do. This is my idea. It may not be the best, and hopefully we'll get effective results. Or it's just a fantasy that I have. Perhaps I'll write it in a book and become a bestseller, and we'll continue to see what we're seeing now. May Allah guide us, may Allah protect us. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, those of you that have watched all of it, please critique me, educate me. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Those Zionists who want to ridicule me for this, be ready for my response. Peace be upon those of you that support the Palestinians. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.